There's a legal, and some would say, a civil rights battle.
We will not be beaten down by this administration or any.
Unfolding from the White House to the U.S. Supreme Court to schools across America relating to gender identity rights.
Gavin! Gavin!
And at the center of this fight is a 17-year-old from Virginia.
In 1 month, I will do what few teenagers have the chance to do. Stand before the United States Supreme Court.
Gavin Grimm's Gloucester County High School would not let him use the boys' bathroom. Grimm was born female but identifies male. So with the help of the ACLU, he sued, claiming discrimination.
There's a neon sign above my head that says I'm different from my peers and in such an intimate manner of living, and it's just so unspeakably uncomfortable and frustrating.
But before Grimm's case goes before the nation's highest court,
Shame on Trump!
A political shockwave rocked Washington.
Trans equality now!
On February 22nd, the Trump administration lifted Obama administration guidelines that permitted transgender students to use school bathrooms based on their gender identity. Now it's up to individual states and school districts to decide. But Grimm v. Gloucester could settle this sensitive issue.
And Gloucester is a significant case, there's no doubt.
Carrie Kupek works for Alliance Defending Freedom, a conservative legal advocacy group fighting a similar court case in Illinois. ADF represents female students who do not want to share their locker room with a transgender classmate, insisting that doing so would violate their privacy.
And I think what's been troubling about this whole public conversation is the lack of attention that has been given to the other students.
Kupek's organization believes the sensitive solution is providing single, private facilities for transgender students. The other side points out, history has shown separate but equal does not work.
I've been using the nurse's bathroom when I have to. I generally avoid it.
But Gavin Grimm is not avoiding this fight. In fact, he tells ABC 7 News he is honored to carry the voices of a movement.
I can't think of anything more valuable that someone could do with their life than stand up for people, and I'm just so grateful that I have that opportunity on such a large scale.
For Erica Robichaud, walking into the right church should be like coming home.
Good morning, you too.
Where you're not only welcomed, but you're celebrated.
That's the neatness of this place, my dear.
I know, I love it.
We need to be who we are.
Absolutely.
Above all else.
Rockville United Church has long opened its doors to diversity, championed social justice, and supported the less fortunate.
I reimagine the psalm as if it were prayed by God's beloved earth.
Robichaud started coming here in early 2017 after emerging from the shadows of a fractured faith.
Thank you for your call in our lives.
We've heard this story over and over where no place of worship is open, or they don't feel at home, or they feel someone's judging them. And it's sad because Christian churches should be different.
Erica Robichaud grew up in Louisiana, deep in Cajun country, where church defined her identity and being gay was not an option.
This is your entire life. It's everything you know. Like, this is your world. This is your community. It's everything.
Erica was a star student athlete. She figured if she overachieved, her community would have to accept the side of her that she couldn't even admit to herself until she was in high school.
I was faced with, I know I have these feelings and I know they're so wrong. And what do I do?
Coming out was excruciating and ostracizing. She was sent to counselors who without fail told her,
let me tell you why being gay is a sin. Let's pray the gay away. Let's talk about the Bible and what the Bible says about homosexuals and how they're not getting into heaven.
Everything Erica found comfort in now did not make sense. Her parents left that church. Erica felt shame for disappointing her faith community and simultaneously betrayed by an environment that insisted she pick between being gay or being Christian. She would like, but knows we'll never hear, this apology.
I'm sorry we were wrong. You know? I'm sorry how the church treated you. And there's a space at God's table for everyone.
Love conquers hate! Love conquers hate!
It took Erica years to fully accept her sexuality, but she eventually found her voice through activism.
Love conquers hate!
She went loud and proud to every gay rally, parade, protest, and festival she could find.
After years and years and years and years of us all doing these little things in our little cities, and then all of a sudden, like, they started to matter.
And when same-sex marriage became the law of the land in 2015, Robichaud says it was like a rebirth. The dreams this little girl from Louisiana once had, to fall in love, to marry, and to have children, could now be realized.
It's almost hard to believe that it's real life. Like, this is my real life. Like, I can actually get married if I want to. And then you can flip them around.
In 2016, Erica met Elissa. They dated for months and now live together. The irony of this love story is that these women share a painful bond.
The Catholic religion has, I think, taken a big toll on me. I mean, my whole family is Catholic.
Elissa grew up in rural Pennsylvania. She came out in middle school, which did not go over well in her small town.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in multiple fights for being gay, and I've actually gotten kicked out of school and kicked off the volleyball team in high school for being gay.
She too was surrounded by an ideology that condemned her very identity. This doctrine she would not accept.
When I learned that, hey, I'm gay, like, the Catholic Church isn't going to marry me, so why am I going to get confirmed? Why am I going to continue with this? Like, I quit the religion.
They blame dogma, not their families, for their fractured faith. As for their partnership, they say relatives adore them, just not their lifestyle.
They love Elissa. They just don't love that I have a girlfriend.
When we followed Erica to church one Sunday, she came alone. Her partner Elissa, after all she's endured, struggles with expressing her faith publicly. So while every path to healing is distinctive, one can only imagine how good it must feel for Erica to walk into the arms of a place that at last feels like home, a faith community that embraces all of her. And maybe her example of being proudly gay and Christian will allow others, abandoned by intolerance, to one day feel whole enough to return to a place of grace.
Good morning, you too.
I'm Jay Korf for ABC 7 Stories.
And first at 11 tonight, spray-painted words and symbols of hate.
I think there was shock.
The Christian church hit with anti-Muslim messages.
It's hard to describe.
When a vandal hit Little River United Church of Christ in Annandale in April with vile messages of intolerance, little did we know this property's remarkable backstory.
On the one hand, obviously I was shocked and mortified by what had happened and was worried about how to minister to the church and the community in the midst of this moment. I also wasn't surprised because we've been through this before.
Every time Pastor David Lindsay travels the long driveway to his church, he's reminded of a haunting past. Slaves once worked this land for the Gooding family. In fact, the Gooding's burial plot resides only a stone's throw from where the church sits today, and it's believed that some of those slaves are buried nearby. Nearly 100 years later, the church, originally called Congregational Christian Church, broke ground. These home movies catapult us back to that time. You may wonder why the church was built so far back in the woods. Well, Pastor Lindsay says realtors refuse to sell church founders' land along busy Little River Turnpike because the congregation was progressive.
We have very little land out there because, frankly, nobody wanted to see us in those days.
He says they faced threats back then for being among the first integrated churches in Northern Virginia. They performed interracial and same-sex weddings before they were even legal. And now, they proudly fight for social justice.
I felt that I was comfortable, and I felt that I was welcome.
94-year-old Mildred Shiver believes that she and her husband Jube were the church's very first African-American members, joining in 1964. But when the Shivers moved to the area 2 years earlier, they faced rampant housing discrimination.
So then my husband decided, well, he'll go in real estate himself and build his own house.
Not only did he build his own home, he built the entire subdivision.
That's my husband.
Jube passed away several years ago, but his legacy remains along an intersection that's near the Shiver home in Alexandria.
We want to let you know police did make an arrest in connection with that vandalism.
While police believe the hate crime culprit has been arrested and the graffiti has been cleaned up, those who worship here know, after all they've been through, building a just world is a work in progress.
We have more to work on, definitely, because some of this is still going on.
Jay Korf, ABC 7 News. If there's something you can count on as the summer season winds down, it's that workers are in short supply at neighborhood pools. If they aren't on vacation, they're heading off to college.
Hiring lifeguards is definitely a difficult process.
To solve this problem, RSV Pools owner Scott Vincent,
Full staff, you guys are good to go?
Partnered with Tom Liniak.
The results are overwhelmingly positive.
To create an innovative, first-of-its-kind program involving teenagers on the autism spectrum, like 18-year-old Nasir Abdur Rahim.
It takes a lot of work, but still, it pays off really great.
Nasir and 15 other students with special needs work as gate guards for RSV-managed pools in Maryland.
You're good to go.
Checking patrons' passes.
It's teaching you how to do things in the real world, communicate with others, self-advocate if you need the help, and also learning a lot of new things, making new friends.
Jessa, a Montgomery County-based nonprofit that finds employment for people with special needs, spearheaded this overwhelmingly successful program.
It's good for the company because we have people we can rely on.
Madison Pizer with RSV Pools hired the gate guards who, after extensive training, have far and away outperformed their counterparts.
16 students working for us, and I can tell you, not a complaint. You know, always on time, always in uniform, super happy to be there.
In fact, this project has done so well, they hope to double the number of hires next summer. But for Pizer, this is about far more than positive employee evaluations. Her younger brother, Mason, is on the spectrum.
For my family, it was terrifying to think that, Mason might not be able to be on his own.
Last summer, Pizer arranged for Mason to work as a gate guard. He performed beyond expectations.
For me, Mason can do this. He's going to be okay. He can have a job. He can have a life of his own. Just because he has autism, it's not going to limit him.
To me, this is the new way. This is the reality. I'm not sure I discovered this. I don't think I did. I think it's been there. I think it's for all of us to discover.
Is that way? What's it that way?
They discovered that in a nurturing environment, employees like Nasir not only succeed, they thrive.
When it comes to his job, he is here on time. He does not miss the bus.
For Nasir's mother, Nisa, this job is a key step in her son's progression to independence.
I'm just really fortunate, to be Nasir's mom and to have him as his son, and I'm gonna cry. And he's doing so well.
While waiting at his station, you'll often find Nasir drawing, from memory, his favorite characters.
I'm just learning how to draw other things, cartoons, anime, real-life people, even animals or other creatures.
He'll tell you without hesitation, he has goals and dreams, like anyone else.
My dream is to be a traveler, a great artist, and a good photographer.
And every day, he moves closer to independence.
And how I get back home, I take Glenmont, 26 Glenmont, all the way up to Glenmont Station.
He uses public transportation to get around. So he is a traveler, and he is an artist, already on his way to living his dreams.
It's about who you are in you. Like, it's like a gift in you. Like, you're a gift of talent. So you cannot let people take advantage of you, judge you how you are, how you like. You can't let them power over you. You have the power to overcome them.
For ABC 7 Stories, I'm Jay Korf.
We have to get shopping done.
We each travel a different path in our evolution to greater independence.
Check what is on sale.
Oli Cantos and his 3 boys are from time to time tethered as they move through life. But this 3-block walk to their Arlington grocery store is a key step in the maturation of his teenagers.
You just have to plan through the menu.
Oli's adopted triplets, Nick, Leo, and Steven, are doing the Thanksgiving shopping this year.
When you get back, I need you to put everything away.
In fact, this trip to their neighborhood Whole Foods is their first fully independent shopping experience.
How much is it?
The boys have been blind since birth, a fact frankly meaningless to these remarkable 18-year-olds.
So I don't really like to dwell on having a disability that much, not because I'm ashamed of it, but because it doesn't really matter.
Last month, this trio attained the coveted rank of Eagle Scout. In recognition, IRA gave each brother a year's subscription to their innovative service.
Okay.
An IRA agent can see in real time what Leo cannot through a camera that's installed in the glasses that he's wearing.
These are the carrots right here, right?
The agent then guides Leo to his goal, finding just the right carrots.
This should be good enough, right?
And celery for his stew.
He's telling me that it's up on the upper shelf, and I didn't know that, so he told me it was in the upper shelf, and so now I can actually know where it is.
For Leo, it's about navigating life a bit easier.
The best way I can describe it, it's like having a sort of vision.
One shelf up, I do see some cranberry juice.
Cranberry juice?
Steven was looking for just the right juice.
Some cake mix.
And the perfect box of cake mix among an overwhelming number of options.
This is just a really cool experience. Order the sticks.
For Nick, who was buying ribeye and keeping the budget,
so bone-in is $12.99.
IRA gave him quick access to pricing.
You know, the ability for me to do this easier, it's going to really monumentally change my life.
Navigating life for all of us can be tricky at times.
Button to your right.
Going right, okay.
The key is knowing when to ask for help.
Look down just a little bit more, tuck your chin to your chest. That is onion powder.
Cool stuff.
And knowing when kindness and gratitude are more meaningful than any technological advancement.
Thank you very much.
Jay Korf.
Happy Thanksgiving.
ABC 7 News.